Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Empire of the Broken Machine, a JRPG-inspired fantasy steampunk Daggerheart campaign, right here on Chance Encounters.
So many adjectives.
A lot of adjectives. Here's two more. I am your somewhat humble dungeon master, game master, there are no dungeons, Ian Frost, with our wonderful Chance Encounters cast once again.
There could be a dungeon somewhere.
You know, it's a big world. Fractura is bound to have a few somewhere.
Yeah.
But hey, that's not where we are right now. So let's get into it. Previously, on Empire of the Broken Machine. After narrowly escaping the Church of Nothing's attack at the docks, fleeing aboard the Sorely Mist, which hummed to life with arcane energy and a newly installed arcane engine, created by the family of one Valerian Asteria, the ship took to the sky and flew off. You then had a couple days of travel after a harrowing battle, putting a couple of crew members to rest who died during that battle, who were killed by the Church of Nothing, and getting to know, or in Tizzy's case, reconnecting with some of the crew members that you've known most of your life, but who are new to you guys. And you eventually landed on the living island of Isla, who, her denizens, the people who live there, who are all able to speak collectively her voice through their mouths. They all welcomed you eagerly with this huge feast, and Isla, through maybe the crew member that has been traveling with the crew, or rather the denizen of Isla that has been traveling with the Sorely Mist crew, was sort of the designated mouthpiece for Isla as she questioned you a little bit about what your goals were, your intentions were, and once she was satisfied, she also told you a little bit about a strange sort of phenomenon, a shadow, a curious shadow that had been seen between her trees and on her shores by some of her people in, the past few months or so. Putting that aside, you went ahead with the resident mage of the Sorely Mist crew, who opened up an elaborate teleportation circle built up in the trees with vines wrapping around that you had to fall through to be teleported to go and make the meeting that your brother Lucian was meant to have with Faris Meridian, the rebel queen. But instead of being transported directly to her, you found yourself in this strange black void, where a shadowy 20-foot-tall entity materialized in the darkness and began to speak to you about matters of strange curiosity. You realized quickly that this was the curious shadow that had been seen on Isla. Having taken the opportunity, apparently you are in his domain, he sort of took the magic of the teleportation, shifted it to the left, and plucked you out of time and space for a moment to have a little conversation. He made some interesting claims, one that his dear sister, that he loves very much, had already reached out to the Asteria brothers, and that if you wanted to find your lost brother, you would need to follow his advice. And he proceeded to give you a very strange riddle, which led all of you to the same conclusion. The Spiral Lake. So perhaps, sometime in the future, the three of you may decide to take a trip to the Spiral Lake and see if you can connect to this entity that once, in fact, led Valerian to Noah in the first place. But for the time being, this entity let you go, and the teleportation spell continued as planned. And you arrived inside a dimly lit chamber, circular, inside of what appeared to be a tower. You kind of felt that pit in your stomach, like you're standing very high up, surrounded by members of the Lastblood Rebellion. All of them with rifles pointed directly at you. And the captain, at least presumably the captain, a cresting into middle-aged woman with short black hair and a little bit more ornate armor than the others, stands over you, put her rifle away, and reached a hand out to sort of help pull you up. And that is where we return. She just looks you over expectantly.
I mean, I can fly, so I don't need help, but I appreciate it.
Sorry, you were all sort of face planted on the floor there for a moment. We've been communicating back and forth, me and the captain, but there's one particular thing I'm going to need to see before I bring you before the Queen. And then her eyes fall on Noah. Do you have it then? Let's see it.
Yes, Valerian, I would appreciate if you got off me.
Apologies, and I roll off her and then quickly get to my feet.
Well, never say that the friends of something cannot deliver, and she'll toss the bag to her.
Catches it, opens it up, puts a hand in there. Full arm disappears into the bag once again. Right. I'm gonna need to ask your names for when I announce you to the Queen.
Most people call me Tizzy.
I am Valerian of House Asteria, brother of Lucian. If that means anything.
Well, it's not for me to decide, is it? But, for the moment, you're here, you brought the goods. We'll bring you to Her Majesty's chambers now. But know this. Try anything funny. Well, you find yourself falling from a great height. Give it a moment. I think you'll figure out where you are. Come along. The door opens. She begins to lead you out down a sort of spiraling staircase, descending.
Do we see more guards as we walk?
Not down the stairs. You realize very quickly you are, in fact, in a tower. And every so often, as you pass, there is a little window that you can look out and just see open sky. So you do follow her down the stairs. Okay. As you do so, I would say 2 of the other guards follow you out from that room, but there were like a dozen in there. And they follow you down the stairs, and when the door opens and you find yourselves in this sort of bridge-like chamber, you realize that you haven't gone all the way down to ground level yet. You see that there's this incredible stone archway supported by sort of metal infrastructure as well. Nothing terribly fancy. It's built for utility, built to be sturdy. You look at the stonework and the way that the metal is positioned, and the places where it's supporting and bracing the stonework, you get the sense that this is an incredibly and perhaps even deceptively sturdy building. You notice as well on this bridge that you are walking inside of, there are archways where you can see out. And out one side, you look out and you see in the distance this incredible rolling green cliff face, beyond which you can just see the sea glistening. Out the other side, you can see hints of stone walls of the rest of this castle, but the windows are kind of too small to see terribly much. And you also notice that there are impressions in the ground where very clearly cannons can be brought out and placed here, but they're kind of off to the side. But they can easily be slid into place out of these windows to defend this area. Anyone who would like to make a knowledge roll about where specifically in the world you are welcome to do so based on the information that you have. I'm going to say it'll probably, based on everything you know so far, it's only going to be a 10.
I'm so dumb.
I rolled more than I should have just now because one was to catch a dice almost to fall. The other was cocked. So that's why I just rolled way too many times. But that's good because that's an 11 with hope.
16 with hope.
Okay.
It's a 5 with fear.
Damn.
He's so afraid.
Well,
I'm so afraid and so stupid.
I have good news and bad news. The good news is I can't take any more fear. But the bad news is that that's because I am maxed out already. Okay, so you're looking around at this area and you're like... Actually, you know what? Connor, why don't you tell me, why do you think that you might be shielded from information? Why would you be missing information about the rebellion and where it's from that might honestly be common knowledge for most people?
I think I've never been allowed to know much about the rebellion in general. I think everything I've ever heard about it is filtered through a lens of propaganda so intense that at some points in my life, I have thought Faris Meridian was this, like, horrifying monster and not just a person. I know that's not true anymore, but, I have these wild images of the rebellion in my head, and none of them really fit somewhat ragtag soldiers in a fairly refined castle.
Mm-hmm. Very fair. So, yeah, you're looking at it, you're like, I'm clearly on the coast, I'm clearly high up, but I just teleported. I could be, I don't know, that could be a lot of places, I guess, and it's kind of overwhelming, and yeah, this shielding of information is very interesting. But for Tizzy and Noah, both of you came here knowing, okay, we're going to meet with Faris Meridian. Either it's going to be some third-party location, some secret meeting place, or we're going to where she is. And now that you're here, that common knowledge for the two of you, one the child of at least one politician, and...
Spoilers.
and one who, by all accounts, should be very well educated in the rebellion, just for her own purposes. You are both well aware that Faris Meridian's rebellion, the seat of that power, is the castle, really the fortress of Stone's Throw.
Wait, where is it? Where is
Right
it?
there.
Oh, it's right here.
So,
Yeah, it's up here. We came from down here.
the thing about this is,
Oh, we came from down here and then went all the way over here. And now we're up here. Yes.
yeah, you've traveled quite a long way. The thing to know about this is that this is not the kind of war where people are going, oh, where is the secret rebel base? Where are they operating out of? It is a well-known fact that Faris Meridian, once the Lady of Stone's Throw, after her father's rebellion, was raised in this castle. She was only a baby. But as she grew older, she became the lady of this castle. No great action was taken against her, but this castle is largely her home. And it is also well known that this is where she is fighting from. And it doesn't really need to be a secret, because this place, by its location and its construction, is very, very difficult to lay siege to. It is high up on cliffs on all sides. Well, on 3 out of 4 sides. That are so incredibly high up. They are miles and miles and miles high. Surrounded by ocean, and then by a river that across from which is Cressida. Now, technically, this place still is on Cressida. It's considered a part of Cressidan land, but it shares a border with the nation of Laro as well, which is independent, not really part of Meridia at all. So it's in Laro, but it's considered Cressida, and you know that they and Valerian as well. You know they're allied as well, so that makes sense. But you are here in the seat of her power. You are in her house. You walk across this bridge, and here you see that there are more guards waiting. And they start to fall in line until you are surrounded. Like every new location that you pass through this incredible bridge, then you enter into this sort of plush lobby area with paintings of the Meridian bloodline all around. You see some dormant arcane constructs, but only a few, strangely. In a keep like this, somewhere, say, in Tinkertown, like what you're accustomed to, Valerian, these would be all over the place. They would be active, and in alcoves there would be multiple, especially if you're getting closer and closer to the throne room. It's odd to see only a couple. And on top of that, to see so many empty alcoves where these dormant constructs might rest. Where are they? Why aren't they here? Finally, you come to a huge set of double doors, and by the time that you get there, I would say a solid 8 more guards have slowly converged 2 at a time through every passing location. You scooped up 2 more. Now completely surrounding you in a perfect sort of perimeter from the walls adjacent to these double doors, making a horseshoe completely closing you in front of these doors. The captain turns around and goes, "Presenting." She opens the door, and there is sort of a burst of cool air sort of rushes through. You see this long sort of procession, this crimson carpet that leads across through not marbled floors like Valerian you might be accustomed to. Everything here is stone and, I said earlier, deceptively fortified, but strangely here in the actual seat of power, there is no illusion. There is the projection of, this place is fortified. It is strong. We do not care about the frills trying to keep up any sort of appearance or whatever, hide how powerful we are. There are massive rectangular prism-shaped pillars flanking this entire hallway and around, not hallway, the carpet sort of procession leading up to these steps. And as you're marching, the captain says, "Her Royal Majesty, Lastblood of the Meridian family, Faris Meridian." And you see, sitting on a throne that is flanked by 2 others, is the visage of one Faris Meridian in her In her very early 30s, you see a partially elven, partially human young woman. Her ears come to slight points rounded on the bottom. They are pierced all the way up. Like she just has rings and bars all the way up both ears. Very full lips and intense dark-colored eyes. Skin the color of coffee with cream. Kind of a half-shaved head that her crown sits upon the actual hairline, like where it starts, where it's not shaved, where a cascade of dark brown curls just sort of flops up and over to one side and loosely falls in ringlets around this crown that she has that looks like it was especially made to have a crystal in the center that looks like a crimson droplet of blood. She has like thick, dark eyeliner that comes to sort of cat-eyed points, and a black stripe down the center of her bottom lip. The Amidala stripe she has. She has a single sort of birthmark dot right on the side of her cheek, sort of adjacent to the corner of her mouth. Her neck is framed by these black sort of webbed spikes, framing an actual metal spiked collar that she wears as well. Over this lacy black dress that is held in certain places with these like silver metal bracers that give a hint of combat readiness superimposed over a fine, elegant dress. Like she's always somewhere in between the court and the battlefield at all times. And you see that she sits with a longsword just rested in her lap, with her arms crossed, just looking at you, betraying very little. But you see to either side of her the two other adjacent thrones. There are two other people here. She is upraised, clearly. She is in charge here. I don't think a roll should be necessary for this. I think this is a well-documented, well-known fact. She has a wife and a fiancé. So to her right, you see a dwarven woman, fully dwarven woman, sort of pale but very rosy skin, big bright smile, which is complete opposite to what you're seeing with Faris Meridian. She stands under 5 feet tall, maybe like 4'8", with long, straight blonde hair that falls down like a couple of strands like in front of her shoulders, and the rest cascades down her back. This elegant, soft, very comfortable looking blue, like sky blue dress. And the captain says, "Presenting as well, the Lady Dasha of House Fane." And presenting fiancé to Her Royal Majesty, Cesare Catio of Tavelan. The final figure that you see, sitting to the Queen's left, this cat-like man. He is not cat-like in the sense of he is some sort of cat person. I mean, his entire posture is like he is poised to pounce. There's curiosity plain on his face, and he is a wiry sort of muscular man. everything about him is chiseled to a fine point. He has the finest, richest looking outfit of all. Does not seem to betray combat in any meaningful way. It is all ornate leather and gold necklaces, jewels on almost every single finger. This leather jerkin that he's wearing is cut all the way down here, so his chest hair is sort of coming out and like framing up. Beautiful green eyes on caramel skin with this perfectly groomed black beard and mustache that slightly curls at the corners. His eyes just glisten as one eyebrow cocks. Sort of loose, dark, black curls fall in a middle part down over his ears and sort of frame his neck a little bit. You don't see any obvious weapons on either of the Queen's partners. But the three of them preside over you. Faris Meridian uncrosses her arms and just rests her palms on the flat of her sword that's sitting in her lap. She leans forward. You may approach. Come on, don't just stand there.
I approach.
We approach.
The captain approaches with you, but stays slightly... Actually, I think she stays, like, adjacent to you. She says, Your Majesty, presenting Tizzy, Noah, and Valerian Asteria. She visibly reacts at the last name. Valerian Asteria. I admit, not a name I was expecting to hear today. I would be very interested to hear your story, but first, beloved, would you be so kind? She turns to Dasha Fane. Oh, yes, of course, sorry. Forgot for a moment. She hops down off her throne, this little... Well, actually, I say little, but she's a very sturdy woman as well. She is
wide.
Yeah, she is, like, kind of round and broad. But she sidles on up to you, her dress trailing out behind her.
Oh.
The sound of her soft slippers just sort of against the floor as she scuttles across. And she walks up to you. And she begins to chant softly. Does anyone speak Dwarven?
I don't think
Not
so.
in the slightest.
No.
Okay. So you don't really know what she's saying, but you recognize it perhaps as Dwarven. Or at least... Sorry, I should rephrase. There is no Dwarven, Elven. There are just the languages of places. Not languages of... Yeah, so what she's speaking is, she's speaking the language of Laro. And she pauses for a second before she starts proper. She goes, this isn't gonna hurt at all, by the way. This is gonna be completely. You're not even gonna notice anything. Just doing a little check here to make sure nobody's listening in that shouldn't be. Okay.
Okay.
And she begins to chant, and she begins to weave, and you see that the air begins to thicken around her mouth, and it thickens into lines. And then it thickens into visible music notes that pass perfectly like along her fingertips as she is guiding them, tracing them around you. And they wrap all around you, through you, but you don't feel anything really at all. They leave behind this faint glitter. And as they move through and across you, making these beautiful like ribbon dancing arcs, they dissipate into glitter that completely dissipates before it sort of hits the air and scatters, starts falling to the ground, and then dissipates completely. Her eyes fade off of this glistening arcane blue into their usual sort of crystalline blue. Okay, well, seems like everything is on the up and up. Very glad to hear it. So hopefully you can rest easy knowing that no one is listening in. No sort of arcane devices have been planted on you. No sort of spells to look in. You're all clear.
Can I... Not Tizzy's wheelhouse at all. But can I do a check to see what kind of mage or what kind of magic she can do?
Yeah. So it depends on your approach. You can make a knowledge roll to just to recall the information. I would say there's an argument for instinct as well if you're just looking at what her magic looks like.
Yeah. Because it doesn't look like mine, that's for sure. But I don't know if it looks like Noah's exactly. You know, like if it's the same or if she's a different offshoot of magic. So I just want to get a sense of what her deal is.
Let's give you... Well, which one are you doing?
I don't know. I don't Tizzy would have been studied in the kinds of magic because her mother would have wanted her to know. But she's not with her mother all the time. So I think it's just an instinct.
Okay.
It's just a like, what do I remember off the cuff, and like, what does this look like in the moment?
Okay. On a 12, I will tell you what you can infer from looking at it. On a 17, it will sort of roll into knowledge and history.
Okay. That is a 21 with hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
On a 21, you look at what she's doing and you watch her turning words solid, weaving. Again, she wasn't quite singing. She was almost singing. It almost sounded more like poetry.
Yeah.
And even though you don't speak the language, you recognize that it was the language of Leroux, and that she was making it solid, using it to influence, to scan. And that power, it leads you on another line of thinking, which is she is fully dwarven. She has the accent of Leroux very strongly. You are kind of in Leroux. You know her family history. She is literally the princess of Leroux. This is very clearly of the bardic tradition of Leroux. And she's pretty strong.
And is it kind of like if you want to see a good bard or know a good bard, you go to Leroux kind of thing? Is bard-based magic Leroux heavy? Leroux centric?
They don't have a monopoly on it. It's not like they're the only bards in the world.
No,
but they have a specific brand and they are known for it.
Yes.
Because poetry and beauty and musings on the wonders of the world and putting them into words and into art, specifically into word-based art though, is what Leroux was founded on. Famously, the first settlers of Leroux were a group of traveling dwarves who climbed to the top of a mountain and then spent different stories say that weeks, others say days or hours, but what is generally understood is that this party of dwarves spent a significant amount of days debating about how best to describe that sunset. And once they had settled on it, that was where they started building and founding the nation of Leroux.
Very cool.
So that's pretty par for the course, yeah.
Nice. Tizzy just kind of stands there thinking about all of this like this. Smile plastered on the face, no reaction.
You see Cesare grinning from his seat as he's like leaned back a little bit, sort of stroking his beard. He's just sort of taking everything in with this amused energy about him that just it's a little bit chaotic to be around. And he goes, "My darling, I do believe that your work is done here. I think you can come back if you wish to." Sorry, got carried away. That's I'll just yeah. And she scurries back up to her seat. Faris reaches over and squeezes her hand for a moment and smirks. And you see their wedding rings. Do you know that they are the two that are married? And that is also a well-documented fact. She looks back to you. "I see that you've brought me what I need." And the captain brings the bag to her. She begins to inspect it. "For that, I'm grateful. Truly. But considering everything that's happened, everything that is continuing to happen, I cannot take anything for granted. Not a single thing. I'd like to hear a story from your mouths, if it please you. Because you've been here now. To some degree, you're a part of this. And it would benefit me greatly to know to what extent that involvement runs. Let's start with you, Noah. This was a trial run for you. You're the only one of this lot who's actually supposed to be here. You've delivered. What would you like in return?
When I first took on this contract, was there anything agreed upon in the original thingamajig?
What would you have asked for?
That's a great thing. I think she would have asked for resources, to be determined upon completion. So I think Noah will say, "Well, as you may be aware, I've wanted numerous resources, but the Friends of Something missions are always ever-changing, so I could not give you specifics at this time, but now I can. I think it would be most appropriate to request boons to assist us in freeing Lucian from the grasp of the Church of Nothing."
You see a notable... She's like taken aback by that. If anyone would like to try to gauge some insight on that, you are more than welcome to do so.
I'm going to burn a hope. Because I know how this game is played.
Nothing's so bad today. Dear
No!
God.
You have to kiss your dice individually. Put them in your mouth.
If you're cold, they're cold.
Aw,
That's
dang.
an 8 with fear.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man. I need to put these guys in jail. But, like, they're so perfectly hope and fear.
Is there a DC or is it contested?
So I did roll. I rolled with a d6 of disadvantage because there was a genuine uncontrollable reaction there for a moment. So what I got was a 15.
Oh,
Yeah.
even with disadvantage.
I know.
Bro.
I rolled a 17 and a 2.
Damn, dog.
I rolled 8.
Hold on. It doesn't even matter, but I have to do the math anyways. La 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 la. That's a 10
actually, I
with
rolled
hope.
9.
I'm assuming this is instinct.
Yes.
Sorry, 12. with hope.
18 with fear.
Ooh! Tasty.
So, Tizzy and Valerian clearly see a reaction, but you see that it's quickly tamped down, and you just miss the window ever so slightly. But Noah, you catch it, and you know to watch for that. I think maybe you were even already on guard, waiting to see reactions, waiting to gauge reactions, and you see this flash of hope for a moment. You said the exact right thing and the exact last thing she was expecting to hear out of you. You see that you were being looked at as a mercenary that would be of use, but that she did not trust. You have just opened the door to a little bit of trust as a masked person from this organization, this faceless organization, with who knows how many people are actually in it, right? And when asked, what do you want in return for your services, you said, help me find your agent. Someone clearly that she cares more about than you realized. That was very much the right thing to say. Well, I would like to level the same question to all of you. What you want in exchange for your services and what you expect to do from here. To be frank, I need to know if I can trust you. But Lucian is a valuable agent to us. And a dear friend. He's done a lot for us here. And he knows a lot. Now, I don't know what they plan to do with him. I don't know how they knew, but I intend to find out. If what you want are the resources to go looking for him, I am inclined to help you in any capacity that I'm capable of. She stops herself. We do not have infinite resources to give. And I will not ask you to fight in this rebellion because you are strangers to me. But I cannot deny people like your brother, people with finesse who can act as a sort of strike team, are hard to come by and easy to lose. I could use your help in this. I don't wish to divert more of my resources to... And she stops, and you see this like moment of plain disgust in her eyes with what she just said. I do not wish to risk more friends needlessly. Divert them away from their posts, from the things that, well, not to give away all the details to, again, strangers, but everyone in my employ is needed for a specific purpose, and they work hard at that purpose. To send them away to try and find Lucian would be unwise. I see before me a very convenient opportunity. I am inclined to take it, but let's just say the door is open to crack. Eh? Cesare goes, well, perhaps it would be a good time to continue this conversation a bit. We did just hear something quite helpful, yes. But I would like to hear from the brother.
What do you want me to say?
Well, for starters, what is your stake in this? Is it known to anyone that you are here? Is your goal simply to rescue your brother and then what? Run back into the loving arms of your parents and continue to contribute to the great machine that we... well... You know what we would like to do with that machine, I think.
Well, if you think I'd be welcomed back into my parents' loving arms after all this, I don't think you know much about them at all. I want my brother back. I won't pretend that I have some great emotional stake in your rebellion. I don't care anymore who sits on that throne. I've never cared. He's the only thing that... I don't know what I plan to do after this. He'll probably drag me along wherever he goes if he even trusts me anymore. But I need to get him back. That's why I'm here.
Well, I will tell you what I know of your family. I know that their warships, day by day, batter their barrages against the coast of my home. Friends and neighbors blown apart day by day. I know that their magics are actively leading to the death of those who I love. My father is one of the 5 senators. You can imagine I have... forgive the... well, I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I have a few horses in this race, so to speak. You care for your brother, as do I. Not by blood, but in bond. But that is not enough. Not enough. He leans
Want my
forward.
fealty then?
No, I was just gonna say he leans forward and Dasha interrupts him. Cesare, don't push too hard now. The boy's new. And she looks at you, and he does actually ease up. Cesare does. Go ahead. You sign.
I don't know what I can honestly give you. You want me to pledge my support to your cause? What will that do? I'm not like him. I can't do any of the things he does. I'm not as smart as he is. I'm just... He's always been the better half of me. I don't know what you want. Honestly, I don't.
Faris turns, and there is a harshness to her glare at Cesare for a moment. But then she takes his hand, and you see that he meets her eyes, and both of them soften. She goes, while still looking at him, says to you, I am not prepared to ask you to join this rebellion now. Happy as I'd be to have new recruits, I've made myself clear on this point. There are other ways, and our goals seem to align. Cesare nods and leans back, puts his hands up. Now she turns to you. No, I won't ask you to fight for us. I only ask you to understand that if you use our resources to go seek Lucian, to help him, bring him back, you need to understand that you cannot compartmentalize things like this. He is in this fight 110%. I think he's proven that.
I'm beginning to realize that, yes.
There is no helping him without helping us. Don't trick yourselves into thinking that it's that simple. And you, looks to Tizzy, you've been quiet. Of the three of you, you're the one I know the least about.
Tizzy has been kicking herself for two reasons. Because the second that Cesare leaned forward, Tizzy realized that she was standing with the posture of someone who's used to standing in a royal court. And she's kicking herself for that. Suddenly becoming aware of her body, watching, this very feline-featured man activating her fawn prey instinct, coming back into her body, realizing that she's standing like someone who's been in this kind of environment before. The other reason she's kicking herself is that when Cesare said, well, you know what we want to do to that machine, she instinctively did a little, grimace or brow furrow. And she's kicking herself for not being able to mask that reaction either. I think she was watching Noah and Valerian and their responses very closely. So being called back to attention. Well, my lady, I sort of just fell into this. Jack was in trouble, and that's my uncle. And then, the Church of Nothing showed up, and I did what I thought I had to do and give them what I thought they deserve for what they're doing to my house. So that's why I'm here.
I think I want to ask you to make a presence roll just to see.
Okay.
The words are good. This is not going to make or break the merit of what you said, because I don't believe in that. That's not what social roles are for. But this is to see how deeply they understand your sincerity on this point. And how much more they will want to interrogate it.
I'm gonna burn another one to add my nose of the game experience. Oh, oh fuck. Okay, so that's 1. 11 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Plus 2 is 15 with fear.
So, interesting point of order.
Feels very appropriate.
Just to reiterate this point, because I know if there are any people at home who are learning Daggerheart along with us, right? Mm-hmm. The GM does not roll 2d12 like the players do. The GM rolls a d20. I just rolled a 1. Oh! Which is functionally on instinct, analog to like insight, you know, gauging intentions here. Mm-hmm. And you rolled what?
A 15. With fear.
Their inability to see through that. The three of them look at you, and all of them are a little bit baffled. You see that they don't see anything they don't like except what they don't see. But they all recognize practiced diplomacy. And while they're not able to sort of... Well, do you want them to think that what you're saying is sincere? Because you rolled significantly higher than them.
I mean, it is. I'm not telling any lie. I literally just was there, and my uncle was in trouble, and then the Church of Nothing was there, and I hate them.
Yeah.
So
their natural one, your success, and the fear, to me, that triangle of things, what that amounts to is they feel your sincerity completely. They also feel the omission. And are choosing at this moment to trust, because what you get more than anything else is a certain amount of desperation.
So, like, here's the thing, right? I would love a ride home, even if I could just get a ride to DeLuna Bay and then I could get my own ride home. That would be wonderful. But we have a bit of a problem. In the heat of battle, I kind of let things get to me, and so I did kill that Church of Nothing bastard. So
Shit, we heard about that.
Yeah, in hindsight, not very smart. But you know, it happens. I guess it'll be fine. So I can't exactly just go wherever I want and do whatever I want, which is go home. And also there is this Lucian issue. He is still being held by the Church of Nothing, and so I would feel really bad inside if I left knowing that he was in trouble. So I'm at a little bit between a rock and a hard place.
Don't sell yourself short, Tezzy. You say that killing that priest was not a smart move, but arguably it was a necessary one. The way I see it, people who are pressed by great power that's willing to use violence to get their point across, people who are faced with that don't always have the luxury of an airtight strategy. What you do have is the will to act. And for now, for me, she looks across to her two companions. That's enough to take the next step. Are we agreed? Yes, we are agreed. Yeah. Completely. Then Noah, I need to know everything that you remember about what happened. I could count on one hand, and I wouldn't need many fingers to do it, how many people knew about that plan. Most of them were there with you. I don't want to believe that we were betrayed, but I don't see a lot of other options. Gonna have to meet with Jack, but even he didn't know the specifics. I need to know what you saw.
Well, and she'll go into like the whole spiel about uh meeting with alias Karth, um, and then like what she was doing in the week or so before the attack, and then the morning of the attack, and how they everything was going great until they teleported in behind us and said nothing personnel, kid. How Lucian sacrificed himself for Noah, which she's still pissed about. Everything that happened at the docks, and then Isla, and then teleporting here.
It doesn't make any sense. There must be something. Something there.
The only things that I can think of is your operational security not being the highest.
Before she can react to that, you see a bit of, there's like a vein sort of comes to the surface. She leans forward, and Cesare speaks first. He goes, "You know, we do not have to leave it to speculation. There is always the mirror." Dasha's eyes go wide for a second, like she's shocked that Cesare just said that. No, they... I mean, one of them is so young, we can't ask him to do... I mean, not the mirror... Do you know any other way to see so clearly what may have been missed?
Hi, hello. What is the mirror?
An opportunity.
Now, I know that is not the complete truth.
So, what? You reward us with suspicion and throwing us in some torture chamber now?
It's not a torture chamber. It's... Well... It's an arcane relic, I suppose.
Is it a wonder?
Not in the strictest sense, though it is wondrous. Honestly, it's a little bit of a mystery to us. It's been passed down through my family line. It's a mirror, and it's alive. In a sense. A person can look into the mirror and enter back into their own memories. But while inside the memory, your spirit, your astral self if you prefer, is inside the mirror. It's not just a window into your own memory. Your memory is a bridge to the past itself. You can't affect it. You can't change anything. But you can see beyond the scope of your own memory. If you have a strong enough will to ground yourself, to know that it is but a memory. You can look around, beyond what you saw with your own eyes. Inspect the scene completely. But my love, they deserve to know that it's not that simple.
So, like, in the wandering place, sometimes a person can, drink a little drinky drink, and then they can go back and think about stuff. But if their brain is too discordant when they're doing that sort of ritual, it can kind of hurt their brain a little bit. Is it like that?
A little. But it's more like The mirror is called the Hungry Mirror for a reason. It harnesses powerful memories. Only a powerful memory can even be viewed there. Your astral self enters the mirror, but your body remains behind until you're done. And if you can't keep your emotions in check, the mirror will eat your emotions. It'll eat the memory. And it'll try to keep you there.
And you, looking at Cesare, you want us to go in there.
It is merely a suggestion. What I am proposing is that Noah has an opportunity to go back into this memory and see things that she may have missed. For the way that I see it, you did not see everything, no? You were backed up against this wagon. If you were to be there, you could, for instance, travel beyond into the tall grasses, see where these Church of Nothing priests appeared, see what they did, what they were doing the moment you were teleported away. This is an opportunity to see the truth, and an opportunity that only you can make good on.
Yeah, see, that's crazy because I actually do not care about it that much. If I'm going to have one of my stronger memories triggered, then that is not going to be one of them.
I would also like to ask if any of you have done it before. And I look to each one of them individually.
They look at each other. There's like almost imperceptible nod, and the queen goes, "Aye, once we did it together. That's how we learned that the more people enter together, the easier it is to get out. The mirror splits its focus. If it's trying to attack multiple people at once, it can't differentiate. It's harder for it to pull other memories to the surface, and it is easier to escape."
Well, that's good. Glad to see that you're the kind of leader who, at least in this instance, won't tell people to do something you wouldn't do yourself.
I'm
Val?
not telling you to do it. I'm asking. I told you, you don't work for me. I can't command you to fight. And I won't keep you here. But if you want to help your brother, you want to know what happened to him, finding out who betrayed them is the first step. And this is the only road I see to that end.
Val, what do you think?
I want to find my brother more than anything, but I'm not going to ask anyone else to risk their minds for it? Their memories? No. There has to be... Is there something else we can do?
I mean, I can ask around on my side of things, but we're also kind of SOL with our current Church of Nothing problems, so
They can always go back to the scene, assuming it's not crawling with investigators still. The Inquisitor should be just about there now, back in Nook. Things have remained quite bad there. I don't know. All I know is that every passing minute there's a higher chance that, well, that Lucian is being hurt.
No, I can't make you do it. Sounds like Val. Same sort of sentiment won't make you do it.
It's
I
not our
can't.
memory.
Yeah, I can't make you do it, but it's not my memory, and I feel pretty confident in my own brain. So I am okay with it, but I can't make you do it.
Um, what do the guards look like in this room? Like, are they also in their kind of shabby armor?
Go ahead and make an instinct roll.
I got a 19 with hope.
Okay, so the metaphorical silver medal. You look around at these guards, and you do see a certain amount of, like, on the one hand, they all have a better breastplate, but the patchwork nature of the rest of their armor is still true. You see that there are a couple of, like, really seasoned, veteran-looking soldiers here. But you look around and you realize not everyone in here is, like, necessarily the best of the best. And you think about that for a second, you're like, oh, are all of her people just kind of ramshackle? But you know about this rebellion, you know she's holding her own. It's been going for 6 months. It's not that. Her people are very capable. What you realize in this moment is that her own personal retinue of bodyguards is not what is most important to her. That is not where she thinks her greatest strength is needed, just to protect herself.
Yeah, so that explains why the constructs aren't here and why her best people aren't here. Would it explain... Would Noah get the impression, based off this role, that her best equipment and stuff are at the front and not on her personal retinue, and that's why their armor is patchwork? Or is this kind of like the standard and it gets worse from now?
I'm going to ask you for a different check. I'm going to ask you for a knowledge roll now.
Ooh, thinking with your brain.
I'm going to use my strategist experience for this role. That's not as good. That's a 12.
You have a vague recollection of after her father, Vector, after his rebellion, after it failed, and Caius the 15th was essentially figuring out what to do with those who remained, Faris Meridian being the last biological Meridian left alive, and she was 2 years old. One of the first things that Caius did was place her, or at least confirm that she could be in the care of her grandmother, Akash Lucana, an elf of Brylock. And the thing that in your memory just is like ping it, like you're very close to it, but you don't have all the details. You remember hearing rumors that a lot of people were displeased that, you know, even though she was a baby, she was still going to be ultimately allowed to be the Lady of Stone's Throw when she grew older. That Akash Lucana, who was very famous scandal, because she's Faris Meridian's grandmother, right? Akash Lucana was married to
The way
Gavin Caldwell.
Oh,
And when the rebellion happened, right?
Okay.
Yeah, this is we're getting in the weeds here.
The weeds.
Like putting it together, I'm like, these two.
So Akash Lucana, elf, married Gavin Caldwell, human and a lord of Cressida. Their daughter, Mina Caldwell, married Vector Meridian. That's Faris Meridian's parents. So, when Vector rebelled, his parents got divorced. Because Gavin Caldwell fought on Caius Meridian's side, and Akash Lucana led her house with Vector in the rebellion, and was the only house in all of Brylock, the only elven house from Brylock to rebel, which is why they are still really out of favor to this day in Brylock and in the Meridian Kingdom in general. Are we good? Are we following that?
Yep.
Okay. So this is all to say, they allowed a rebel, Akash Lucana, and the last remaining Meridian to have free reign of this place. But there are rumors that it was not that cut and dry. Of course, they didn't just let them have this place unattended. There were rumors that their resources were stripped. That this place was sort of defanged in a lot of ways. Now, you can't defang the environment. On the one hand, it is the most one of the most fortified, if not the most fortified fortresses one can imagine.
But there's no cannons on the parapets.
And it's, well, there were, but there were fewer than there should be.
Yeah.
Some of them looked like they were sourced from other places.
Yeah.
And what I was saying is that this place, yes, it's perfectly fortified. It's also very out of the way. Like, it's hard to be laid siege to. It's also hard to siege from. It's hard to have this be your base of operations. You're far from everything, surrounded mostly by allies. What are they going to do? Rain hell down across the river and go into Cressida, which is like they're trying to, but most of the war is happening south of here, through Leroux, and then on the coast of Tavilon. It's a weird situation, right? But you're seeing those rumors are probably true, that a lot of the resources of this place have actively been stripped, and she's been trying to claw them back and get as much support as she can, which is why so much of what you see is armor and weapons and things, and or like areas of the castle that have been in disrepair that you can see have been repaired, and the stonework looks different, speaks to a sensibility of Leroux and Tavilon, because those are her allies and where she's getting all her resources from.
So,
You mostly, the last thing I will say is that you mostly see some fellow Cressidans, because you know that Cressida is split between the people who are rebelling and the people who aren't. So you definitely see a lot of like curly red-haired, bearded, big, burly red-haired people. You also see a lot of like tan-skinned, curly, dark-haired people of Tavilon, and a lot of dwarves. Like, that is the primary sort of composition of her forces. Yeah.
I think. There's two ways to play this. One, we go through the magic murder mirror, or two, we try and fix the organization of her forces and then find a traitor that way.
I'm going to tell you right now, Tizzy would not be down for the latter. Tizzy's like, I don't give a single shit about boosting in any meaningful way the power of the rebellion.
I think Noah will look at Valerian and ask him, how emotionally sound are you feeling? Honestly.
Visually, Valerian does look a little bit like a kicked puppy at the moment. Um,
Oh.
but he sort of like he straightens himself up. Um, these past few days have been trying, but I'm sound. You can tell just from like the way he's able to sort of straighten his posture and sort of remove all emotion other than determination from his face that he's very experienced with not pushing his emotions down, but he is able to compartmentalize and, you know, not affront, but like calm himself and steel himself for things.
Um, Noah will turn to Tizzy and ask, would you join me in this mindscape as we look for more information about the Church of Nothing?
I mean, normally I really don't mess with the hard arcane. It's not really my thing. It seems very, cold and unemotional to me. But I will say the sort of academic opportunity is very enticing.
Uh, oh, oh. She'll turn to the wannabe queen and say, well then, in that case, uh, I shall engage with your gamble. Let us see if we cannot uncover how the Church of Nothing knew how to strike us.
Right. Captain Corgan, would you escort them? The Lady Lucana will meet you there and explain the situation a bit better than I can. No one knows the mirror better than my grandmother.
She's
How old would she be?
old as fuck.
Hundreds,
Jesus.
hundreds, over 100 for
Old
sure.
as
But,
fuck.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Fuck. Dog.
My hip.
On the way out before we leave, Tizzy will just very cordially bow to all three of them. Thank you, my lords and ladies. I guess you'll know where to find us.
Good luck. You seem like you're strong of will, so hopefully you won't need it. As you're starting to leave, Dasha Fane gets up. Goes, hang on, my Lord Asterel, a moment.
I sort of, come over towards her, away from the group.
May I? She goes to take your hand.
Very hesitantly, I let her take my hand.
Very gently, and she has to obviously reach up. She's much, much shorter than you. She reaches up
Very
and she
tall.
clasps your, and she's very short, and she clasps both her hands around yours very softly. She goes, I won't pretend to know you or exactly what you're going through. But as you may or may not know, I lost my brother recently. His murder, really, in a lot of ways, is what started this war in the first place. I'll do everything I can to keep that from happening to you. Find him, darling, okay? And she speaks the words, and you see golden light suffuses like down. You see her vocal cords are illuminated. You can actually see them, like her neck becomes see-through. and then it travels down, and that light passes into her hands and then surges into you. You are going to get a d6 of inspiration, essentially what advantage is, that you can use at your discretion for the rest of this in-game day.
Nice. I sort of like let that feeling wash over me, and I feel like a bit of a weight has been lifted from my shoulders. And I just say, "Thank you, my lady. For what it's worth, I am sorry for your loss."
Let's make it count. The captain kind of clears her throat. You all head back, this time notably with significantly less security. You travel up several sets of stairs. You see that she takes out a key ring. And one of the keys is much rustier, older looking than the others. It is this terrible thing. It almost looks like it has a kind of a carving of a bird skull on one end that is painted as such that you wonder if it maybe just is one, but it's really small. And this old rusty iron key that comes to a jagged head. She takes that key out, puts it in the lock, and opens the door, and it creaks open, and the smell of just sort of dust and old must as you move up into this wing of the fortress that clearly does not get used as much, that does not see as much travel. You head up into what appears to be some kind of strange storage room. If a place like this has an attic, this would be it. Which is hard to fathom, the idea that a place like this should have something as mundane as an attic, but you can see like a lot of impressions, square, like big box-shaped impressions, both square and rectangular, in the dust on the ground that give the impression that this is a storage area, but nothing is going to waste. They don't have enough of anything, really, to let go to waste. If anything, you see broken things up here. Armor that has been destroyed, that is waiting to be scrapped or smelted down and turned into something else, recycled. On the other side of the room, as the door closes behind you, you see that there is a very large, black, heavy blanket, like a weighted blanket, that is hanging over something about the size of a stand-up mirror. And standing in front of it, with her hands clasped behind her back, is a tall, spindly, somewhat wrinkled figure. Very long, pointed ears with long, dangly, jeweled earrings underneath. You see that she has a semi-translucent sort of crimson wrap around the top of her head that has faint impressions of golden stars and moons sort of weaved into it. And long, straight black hair falls out from underneath this. It falls all the way past her back. Her fingernails are kind of long and filed into points. Her hands are very rough looking. But otherwise, she just wears this very simple, completely undecorated black dress. It just straps over the shoulders very neatly, sleeveless, just falls straight down, barely fitted to her body, just flows around her. It sort of pools on the ground. You don't see her feet. It's like she's standing in an ink puddle. You come seeking the hungry mirror, do you?
Not our first choice, but yes.
It is all right, Captain. I can take it from here. And she turns, and you see these intense gold-colored eyes that pop against deep brown skin. She's elven, so the fact that she's starting to wrinkle around the face speaks to a very advanced age. She cocks her head a little bit, seems to almost look through you. It is not a thing to be done lightly, but this I imagine you must already know. She begins to squint, and she starts to bob and weave like she's standing on the deck of a boat on choppy waters. A strange fortune weaves itself around you. Forgive me. What could be and what is can be muddled when you get to be as old as me. This mirror was constructed by my grandfather. We do not know how exactly. When he built it, his mind was not what it was. A powerful arcanist was he, yes. His mind was as a great machine, every part always working, interconnected. And so as he aged and disease started to take root, his mental faculties began to go, and his memories along with it. It is said that he built this mirror to try to ground himself, to recapture his own memories and regain his sense of self. It worked for a time until he lost himself to it. I am here to try and ensure the same does not happen to you. It will seek out your weakness, pull from you powerful memories to elicit emotional reactions. You are only as strong as your weakest will. I advise, do not have a weak will. Who is to provide the memory? Come, my child, come. She puts up a hand and she begins to just trace her fingers down your mask, slowly.
That is very, very creepy.
Spooky Grandma.
I am sorry, child, that you have seen much worse in your life. And perhaps will again. This mask you wear cannot protect you from everything, or from what is already behind it.
Did she just call me ugly? What the fuck?
Be careful. Be careful what masks you bring with you into this place. It will see through them. The three of you join hands, please. You two, close your eyes. And you. Picture the memory clearly, as clearly as you can. The sight, the smells, the people, the blood. Is it there?
Da is there.
She reaches up with her almost clawed hand, pulls aside this blanket, and you see this ornate mirror. When she pulls aside the blanket, you all hear this strange sigh, this but you fight the urge to look. You keep your eyes closed, and Noah, you look in the mirror, and your body freezes up for a moment, and you see through your own eyes the beginning of the memory, what you remember, crouching in the tall grass, hearing the sounds of the wheels of the wagon approaching. You feel that hand, sort of papery hand, brush your shoulder, pushes you forward. Go, step forward. You first.
Big step in.
You step in, and your eyes meet the glass of the mirror. Your vision absorbs into the vision of the past. You step into yourself, and you feel your body shedding off you like skin. The last thing you hear before your spirit completely enters this mirror is your own body hitting the hard ground. Keep your eyes closed and walk forward, one at a time. Quickly now. You step inside, and you have nothing to walk into in the same way. You're not meeting your own vision, your own memory. You are entering a door that has been opened. So what you feel is this static that reaches into you, into your emotions, into your trepidation, your determination, and it holds onto it and pulls. And you feel yourself, your vision, yanked out of your own body as it falls back behind you. And you find yourself, two of you anyway. Well, let's find out, shall we? I need everyone to make either an instinct roll or a knowledge roll.
Oh my god.
The DC, because there are 3 of you, starts at 10, but I am finally going to spend some fear here. I'm going to spend 4 fear to crank up that DC to a 14.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Guys,
You do not want to be the
Nice.
one who rolls the lowest.
Guys, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm so sorry.
Fuck.
I'm so sorry. I'm
is so bad.
sorry.
Do I get advantage because I'm really cool and I'm also the one leading us to direct memory?
You do not.
Fuck.
You are all equally trying to resist the pull of
shit.
this thing.
Resist.
Is there any element of like resisting fear to this?
Kind of. It's more about... Let me describe a little bit here. You open your eyes and you see the place where you are trying to get to. For a moment, your body feels like your body, but at the same time, there's a part of you that is always aware of cold stone against your back. And you feel a tingling at the edges of yourself. Like energy is sort of keeping you in place. Metaphysically, the implications of this, what you are right now, is subject to your own beliefs on the subject. but you feel that groaning sigh again in your mind, and you feel like in your chest where your heart should be, there are turning pages quickly, like something is rifling through trying to find something. And you feel your own memories just flashing in bits, like when you kind of remember for a flash of a second a piece of a dream that you had, and you immediately forget it again. Just in your mind. That is what you were trying to resist. So, Tizzy, what did you get?
I got an 18 with fear.
Okay, I will take that. Valerian?
Oh, Valerian. Oh.
I got a 9 with fear.
Ooh, mega cringe for you.
And
Oh
Noah.
no. I'm toast.
Give me a second. I'm figuring out how you can spend hope. Please, I need this. I don't think I could. Oh shit! I don't think there's a way I can fix this, guys. I got a 9 with hope though, so I didn't get as bad as Valerian.
So the worst roll here is a 9 with fear.
Damn.
So, and because it is the lowest and it didn't meet the DC. Those are two separate things.
Jesus Christ.
God. Why
So-
do they have to
And
be two
with
separate
fear.
things?
What happens here is for the briefest moment, the three of you are like crouched in tall grass. And Noah, you are in the memory and you are back in the memory. For a moment, you don't remember anything about stepping through this mirror or anything that's happened. You superimpose yourself into yourself. And for a brief moment, Tizzy and Valerian don't see a separate Noah. You see an empty sort of outline filled in by Noah, who is now taking her own place. And then all three of you are yanked away. The entire environment is pulled out like cloth from a dinner table. And you are the bodies shaking on top, trying not to fall over. And you ground yourselves and you're scattered and you look around for a moment. And Noah, you're yanked from that knowledge. You're like, wait, I'm not here. This happened. Oh, and you're gone. And suddenly all of you are standing on cobblestone. It is the middle of the night. The streets are mostly quiet except for the ticking of a massive clock. You look around. There are tall spires all around you and bridges and distant whirring of arcane constructs flying against the night sky beneath the stars that you can barely see because of the smog and smoke pollution. You are in Tinkertown. And you do not see Valerian anywhere. The two of you are standing in this courtyard.
Okay.
You see this massive clock tower. It truly does tower above the rest of the skyline in this area. And there's this grassy courtyard with benches all around. But there's no one here. You hear people in the distance, but it is truly the middle of the night. Valerian, you are 10 years old. Can you describe a little bit about what you looked like when you were 10 years old?
So nowadays I'm very, broad-shouldered, very strong, very tall. I've always been tall, but I have not always been broad. At 10, I think I was a very lanky, knobby-kneed little kid, with brown hair that falls to, maybe just above my shoulders. tied back in a little little baby ponytail. Um, I wear sort of fine clothes like you would expect on the child of a nobleman, but I don't wear them very well. Um, they look awkward on me. I look very awkward.
Valerian, there is something of an old ritual in Tinkertown. Something that future soldiers are like to do. Mostly you've seen the older kids doing it. And recently, you saw your brother do it to great success, faster than you've ever seen anyone do it before. When young soldiers-to-be, or even just kids, or young people who want to prove how tough they are, feel so inclined to impress, it is traditional to climb to the top of this clock tower. It is called Time's Reach. Make it all the way to the top, climb all the way back down to the bottom on your own. It's the middle of the night. You snuck out of your house after another day of lessons from your mother, scowls from your father, just a sort of silent judging. And your brother's accomplishment, climbing this tower, fresh in your mind, you are halfway to the top.
Do we see a little kid?
Go ahead and both of you make a... It's instinct again, it's perception, so... Yep.
This little 10-year-old climbing the clock tower.
You're looking for... Yeah, a little 10-year-old halfway up a big clock tower. I think you're looking for a 13.
That's a 20 with hope for me.
Okay.
It's a 15 with fear.
Delicious fear for me.
Those dice like you so much more than me.
So,
The rituals are intricate. That's all I'm going to say.
you said 15?
Mm-hmm.
So, both of you spot this little boy. It's kind of a little... You see his figure is very small, because you're standing in the courtyard, and he's many, many feet up. But you see someone climbing up. He looks a little bit like Valerian, but it's difficult to say, because Valerian is, last time you checked, not 10 years old. But you see him, framed in moonlight, just pulling himself up little by little, getting up that tower.
Tizzy, should we be worried about that child?
And I take off. Because
Fine.
he doesn't have wings and I do.
Okay. So, you take off flying. You got above a 20.
I got a
with,
20.
And with hope, no less.
Yes.
Still. Thing number one is, you are certain that's Valerian.
Mm-hmm.
And that you are still in the mirror. You have your faculties completely about you.
Okay.
And you are aware he must not.
Mm-hmm.
Why else would he be doing this? You also notice as you fly overhead, on that 20, out of the corner of your eye, a small shadow sort of ducked behind a statue in the courtyard nearby. You see the shadowy outline of a tall, pointy-eared figure. You see long, dark hair of someone looking up and watching this boy from the shadows, unseen. Except by you.
I think I'm going to fly up and I'm going to fly under. But I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to scare Memory Valerian into falling and then jerking us out into a different memory or something, like messing with the situation. So I'm probably going to be I don't know how loud my wings would be, but I'm gonna try to be maybe like 10-ish, 15-ish feet under to be prepared to catch him if he slips and falls.
Okay. You go to do so, and Valerian, as you once did, you reach up for another stone. Your fingers slip. You're sweaty, you're nervous, and you begin to tumble backwards.
Ah!
What did Valerian think in that moment, 10 years old, as he was most surely falling to his death? What was his first thought?
I think before the fear of death even set in, I think the immediate thought was, Lucian's going to be so disappointed in me.
And you fall. Tizzy,
Yeah.
go ahead and try to catch.
Oh
That's
my
going to be-
God.
Sprint, leap, maneuver.
Okay, hold on.
Control, hide, tinker. Accuracy, stealth, or utmost control.
I think it has to be agility. I'm trying to maneuver myself under him so I can catch him. But I have a question.
Mhm.
Can I try to use Vicious Entangle to aid me in this moment?
I mean, you can obviously try.
Yeah.
The question is, this is a dream space.
Yeah.
And Valerian has bonded with his past self.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure how solid anything you do is going to be in this space,
Yes.
but you can try.
But I can try. But I can try. Ooh, boy. I don't, but as a druid, my spellcasting trait is instinct. So I don't even, I'm aware we're in a dreamscape, but I think the instinct to use all of my abilities to try to catch Valerian is stronger than that knowledge. So I'm gonna try to cast Vicious Entangle out of the clock tower.
Okay.
As I try to also physically catch him. So I don't know how to do that. I have to make a spellcast roll for Vicious Entangle. Do I do that first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess it would be versus armor class, but as a 10-year-old kid,
I have an
it's
armor
not
class.
even. You're not. Yeah, it's not armor.
Well, the base I think is 10 for
Yeah.
evasion,
Yeah. So
Which-
you're just looking for a 10 to catch, I think.
which I got exactly a 10 with fear.
Hey, we're back up to 12, just like that.
Yay!
So on a 10, you reach out. Remind me, what does your Vicious Entangle look like generally?
Well, it depends on where we are. Where we are is a very inorganic sort of place. But this is a clock tower made of stone. I'm sure it is well maintained, but little bits of moss and things are constantly trying to creep in between the cracks of the grout and the adhesive, I'm sure. So I think pulling on that, like little pieces here and there, just making them grow in this moment to sort of provide a further net as I try to scoop him up in my physical hands.
So then all of these vines and brambles, they emerge from yourself as a big, like a net, a basket in front of you, in a way.
In a way, yeah. It's kind of like I asked the moss to grow and become something it's not, and so it's kind of like I have a little bit of like a train behind me. It is growing out of the clock tower, but it connects to my arms and around me, so that if I am not fully successful, that there's like a backup plan, essentially.
Right. So you go and grab, and you see that the vines, where they touch the tower, it phases into it. You don't see the point where it grew out.
Yeah.
And you know you cannot affect this landscape, but connecting it to yourself was a strong instinct. And you see Valerian falls. So you watch as this net, this basket of vines, does in fact catch Valerian. But you see that his form flickers for a moment and seems to expand and grow into the size of the Valerian that you know. But there is a membrane, like a skin almost, around his body that is made up of what appears to be his child form, that is stretching out, threatening to snap as he continues to fall, connecting him to himself. And Valerian, you feel yourself in both places. The memory it's falling away from you, becoming more of a memory. And then you're starting to feel this membrane over your face, and it's hard to breathe, and you're, where am I? Where am I? And then it snaps. And you find yourself, as you are, a flood of memories. Everything from that moment to this moment in your life hits you again in order in a fraction of a second. You live the entire rest of your life.
Holy shit.
And you've turned onto your stomach at this point. So you're looking down, watching your child self fall beneath you, just as you once did. And you know what happens next. You remember. You see Tizzy out of the corner of your eye, flying up to you. You look down, and suddenly you see your child self stop in midair, just floating. Your father, a bit younger, steps out from the shadows with a finger pointed up. With magic, gently lowers you into his arms. Do you watch the scene play out that you remember happening?
I think I can't look away.
He holds you there for a moment, just looks down at you. But what you see in his eyes is not what you expect. It's not disappointment. Now what do you imagine you should have done differently there, son?
Am I as my
Yeah, you
child
can
self?
play. You are two separate
Okay.
selves, but we're playing out the memory, so you can speak as your 10-year-old self.
And I'm very shaken up. I'm like, my hands are trembling. I should have. I wasn't looking. I wasn't. I'm sorry.
You managed to sneak out without my noticing. Fortunately for the both of us, I checked your bedroom. And I deduced where you would most likely be. Do not ever doubt for a moment, son, that I am watching. I have no great desire to bury something so promising. He smiles as warmly as you ever remember him smiling. He lowers you to the ground, and the two of you begin to walk away. And as the rest of your memories sort of finish filing themselves back in your brain, you're quite certain this is the last time in your life, complicated as it might have been, imperfect as it might have been, that he genuinely showed his care for you. Tizzy, you completely catch up. Mm-hmm. You see him lying there, watching.
Lying there?
On his stomach, on your bed of vines, looking down.
I was like, did other Valerian make it to the... Okay, got it.
Yeah,
okay.
He remained, and the other Valerian continued to fall.
The vines, you feel them sort of like undulate under you, and they get you to an upright position, so you're standing as I just sort of lower you to the ground. And when you reach the ground, you are standing on your own 2 feet. And I sort of hover down next to you.
I think for a moment I'm sort of just standing and staring at the spot where my father and I were. Just processing everything, like 13 years of memories hitting me all at once. I just sort of take a step back. Do I remember that we're in the mirror now?
Mm-hmm. You are fully yourself again.
I gotta see it, didn't I? It's past. Thank you for catching me. Let's go. Let's find somewhere else. Back to where we were supposed to be. I'm sorry. I'm fine.
Okay. I say with a look on my face that does not believe you're fine.
I'm so good. I'm so great.
The question is, how?
Indeed.
And I look to Noah.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Woo. All right.
What's happening?
Well, I don't know. Maybe find a reflective surface again?
That could work. Well, okay, we're in Tinkertown.
Mhm.
There's a lot of metal stuff around.
Sure, yeah.
Would I know specifically of anything around here that's very reflective?
There's a fountain.
Water be reflecting.
There's a fountain not far from here. Would water work, maybe?
It reflects stuff.
It's worth a shot.
We go.
Mm-hmm.
Holding hands.
Okay. You head over to the fountain. You look down at the water, but by itself, here's the thing is that as you're walking, you look back and you notice the memory is over. You weren't here anymore. And you see almost like the edges of parchment catching fire are just burning in and closing in on your heels as you run up to this fountain. You don't know what will happen if it catches up to you.
Oh, scheiße. Oh, scheiße.
You look into this fountain. You don't immediately see anything. What is it that you try to do?
I just picture that same field and all those other people that are about to die in it, and I jump in.
Okay. So you picture that strongly. Once again, you jump in, the two of you rush after, and there's a moment of transition of trying to seize control of this environment. So what I'm gonna need is Noah's trying to lead the charge.
And we
So-
are holding hands, canonically. Holding hands. Tizzy forced you guys to.
Aw.
Noah, I'm going to let you choose. What skill would you try to use to assert dominance over the environment?
T-pose.
Probably instinct again.
Okay.
Oh God.
I believe. No, I believe.
Oh no, that wasn't very good.
No, I know. You don't have any experiences to draw on?
You are the alpha, Noah.
No. That's a 10 with fear again.
Damn.
So, here's a crazy thing. I just rolled another natural 1. You dive into this fountain. And all of you, for a moment, it's like breaking glass. And you fall through it, through the sky, and land back in that grassy field again. Tizzy, from the beginning, you rolled an 18 with hope. You're the only one who made the DC from the, or 18 with fear, but
Yes.
you're the only one who made the DC. You are something has fortified you against this. You have kept your bearings this entire time, and you realize jumping back into the pool, trying to follow Noah's will, technically there was another chance for this thing to try to, scatter its focus again, to try and find another memory, to try and consume. You have just pulled something from its open mouth. You just saved Valerian's memory.
Yeah.
With magic. You affected something you shouldn't have been able to. And on that, you see Noah's will over the intangible, the unexplainable, at least for now. And you start to understand something about the role that emotion plays in the corners of this world that are wondrous. The role that intention plays. And at this moment, all of your intentions meet, and you're back in the grass, and no one needs to roll any more saves. For now. And I think because I rolled a natural 1, very unlikely, in the same way that a natural 20 should always be rewarded, I think you should be rewarded for me rolling a natural 1. There's a moment where, as you are falling, these shards of broken glass from the water falling around you, you see other pieces of your memories. And Tizzy, you see specifically, reflected in one large chunk of glass, you see through your own eyes, looking up from the angle of a small child. A dense tree line and a metallic black foot and the sound of sort of gears crunching in the grass. And for a split moment, you hear a voice. "Oh, it's nice to meet you." And then you see a dark shadow of a hand shoot out from the ether around you and grab this piece of glass. No. You are strong. And this hand cracks this piece of glass apart. And you feel yourself sort of walled off from this memory, and it stays a memory, and that's when you hit the grass.
Okay, so it's not like it's gone.
No.
Okay.
And the voice that you heard was a raspy, older, masculine-sounding Brylokosh accent.
Do I know what Akash Lucana's grandfather's name was.
Ooh, this is a high DC knowledge roll.
You're so smart, Tizzy. You're so smart.
I'm so fucking smart. I'm so smart. I'm burning hope like crazy.
I'm gonna need an 18 on this.
I'm burning hope like crazy. Can
You
I
like know things.
Can I only use 1 experience per roll?
I think so.
Okay. I can't stack them. Okay.
We'll look that up for next time.
Uh-oh. I promise you I am not fucking around.
Yeah!
I'm not kidding. I
What'd you
rolled
get?
2 4s.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Holy shit. Oh,
Critical success.
critical success.
You think it occurs to you in your mind, you're like, he lost himself in this mirror. What was his name? And you think that. And just before your mind arrives at the piece of history on its own, there's a voice behind you. Savar.
Savar?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the voice sounds clear and present and here. And you look around. Noah, you see yourself crouching in the grass. The entire scene is frozen. It is not progressing. And all of you see standing amongst you all is this flickering outline of a man. His deep brown skin, very long face, very sallow, kind of hollow, amber-colored eyes, long ears, ancient-looking man, long gray hair. You see a resemblance to Akash. He's blinking, kind of squinting at you. He looks confused that he's here. And every time that he sort of steps and the sunlight catches him, his entire form glitches out. It just shifts and flickers. But he keeps himself here. Oh. Who?
Give it back. Give it back.
What?
Mr. Lucana, give it back.
Lucana. That's me.
Yeah. Akash's grandpa.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Your granddaughter.
I didn't.
Oh. Well, you have a granddaughter. Her name is Akash.
Is she here in the tall grasses?
No, she's somewhere else. She sent us to come here.
I thought I was having tea with my father. I saw you and I thought that you needed help, but I don't remember how I got here. Oh.
I think I accidentally asked you here. Maybe?
Oh. All right. I was having tea with my father, and then I was here. Did you say your name? I am Savar.
My name's Tizzy. Tiziphany, if you want to be fancy. This is Valerian. I call him Val. And this is Noah. I call her Noah.
I don't think I am supposed to be here.
Neither am I, but here I am.
And you see a moment of clarity kind of cross his face. are you lost?
Well, we are where we're supposed to be. We just don't know what to do now.
Oh. Oh, well, if this is the memory that you want, No, I can just... I stopped it to talk to you, I think.
Oh,
You brought me here. I
didn't
having
mean it.
tea with my father, and
You
then...
stole my shard, and then I got really mad.
Well,
and
you were going to go... Were you going to... It is mad at you.
What?
It wanted to take you.
Well,
I don't think it would have.
it can fucking try.
It did try.
And it failed.
Yes.
So we're good. So you can go back to having tea, no?
Did I...
What?
Did I help you?
Not yet.
Oh. Okay. Well... If you need a doorway back...
Oh, yes, please. Do you have to stay for that, or...?
No, I don't know if I'm so tired, and I think I was having tea. Here,
You want to sit down?
no, let me... And he turns, and as he does, his entire form sort of... It's like he has an afterimage of himself when he turns. And he walks forward, and he walks through the horizon like it's two-dimensional. And you see he walks into and creates, in doing so, an opening the size of himself. And he disappears. But that outline remains. And you just see... You see the glass. For a moment. You see the room. You see Akash Lucana standing there, but she doesn't see you. She's just watching in the mirror.
Okay, maybe we gotta do this fast, Noah. Where do you want us to look?
let's just get this over with, because this is the weirdest thing that has happened to me all day.
The scene is starting to play out. You see the wagon rolling through.
I'm gonna fly up.
Okay.
Yep. Bird's eye view.
Where does everybody want to position themselves?
I'm gonna position myself to where, like, I saw the big bad guy walk out of the thing, see where he teleports in.
Okay.
I'll stick near the wagon.
Okay.
Oh, you get to see how I totally rocked your brother's shit.
That'll be a refreshing change.
So everybody go ahead. Make one more instinct roll. No DC.
man.
This is just to see how much you see.
Oh,
Really how much you infer from what you see as well.
absolutely balls.
No.
But of
Why?
course you can draw your own conclusions too.
Oh my god. Is this another mega cringe moment from Valerian?
Valerian's so stupid today, dear God. Oh wait, never mind. I forgot how crits work in this game. That's a crit.
Yay!
I was like, that's a 7. No, that's 2 3s.
Beautiful. Okay.
If I can burn another experience, because I'm riding the high of that encounter with
Yeah.
Savar Lucana, a crazy historical figure, then that is an 11 with hope.
Okay.
Can I use my strategist experience?
This is
cool.
yeah, you're trying to find the best strategic place to put yourself to see.
Well, then that makes it a 23 with fear.
Holy shit.
I can't get any more fear. Will I ever start a session without 12 fear?
We're so
Tune
afraid.
in to find out.
No.
So, Noah, you said you were watching for when they teleport in. So you move away from yourself, sort of down the road a bit, and then into the tall grasses from the direction that he seemed to walk from. And the moment comes where you see the faintest flickering of light. In fact, it occurs to you, you didn't see the moment they teleported in necessarily. So you get into the grasses and you see that white light and you see them emerge. You clearly see that it was this head priest that was the one who initiated the spell. You see the hand movements that are being done that indicate that he was indeed the one who did this, and the others teleport as well, like all as one. They teleported straight into the grasses in a strategic position well before the wagon got to them, as though they knew exactly where they were supposed to be. That this wagon would be here and would be coming this way. Tizzy, remind me, you got what? And where did you go?
An 11 with hope, and I flew up for a bird's eye view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, flying up, you don't see them teleport in,
Mm-hmm.
except for that you notice where Noah went. And you follow his eye and you see the movement there. But they move so quietly and cleanly. You barely perceive their movement. Then you see Noah and the others leap out, begin to attack the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
You see the captain step out, engage in battle. You see Lucian beginning to fight with Noah.
Can you remind me what Lucian looks like again?
Yeah.
So cool. Just so cool.
Just the coolest guy you've ever freaking seen. This is gonna be the gauge of how Tizzy feels about him. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna we're gonna roll and we're gonna find out.
I think it's in here. It's not.
Is he like Valerian, but just like bigger and cooler? And like,
I think I might actually be taller than him. Because he's... I'm the strong one.
He has he does have a certain sort of dark tiredness under his eyes, but his face is barely lined, strong jaw, thick black hair, middle parted that comes down in waves.
not the middle part.
That would go over his ears if his ears didn't point straight out a little bit because he's half elven, and then come down and sort of curl around the nape of his neck. Very well groomed, but pretty thick black beard.
I'm looking
that
at
frames his jaw.
I'm looking at the drawing. He is hot. Yeah. We'll still see. We'll see if Tizzy thinks he's hot. But yeah, I think because there's so much talk about Lucian that Tizzy sort of did laser focus in on him because she doesn't know what he looks like. Okay. So besides the Church of Nothing, kind of like stealth teleporting in, so far nothing is different from what Noah said.
So far, you see the bandits sort of fighting.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely know, they teleported in well ahead of time, and that is now documented by someone else. Someone else has seen this and confirmed it. They're watching through the mirror, right?
Yeah.
And you have now seen it with your own eyes. They came here well in advance.
Mm-hmm.
The bandits attack, and then you notice they step out. He reaches out, the head priest reaches out, and spikes erupt up out of the ground. They impale and kill every single member of this bandit party that you know to be Lastblood rebels in disguise. Except for Noah, who does take some damage, but manages to get out of it. And as the scene continues to play out, on that crit, Valerian, you said that you were by the wagon. And you look, and you see the spikes come out and impale everyone. You remember hearing from Noah that that's what happened, that all the members were killed. But you see that by the time that the scene is progressing, Noah and and Lucian were already on one side of the wagon. And the bandit party was already engaged in combat all around the wagon. There was a blind spot that Noah would not have been able to see on the other side of the wagon. Only the sort of blood-covered spike that is so tall that it goes above the wagon, she would have seen that, but it occurs to you, like, if she didn't see something, that's where it would be. Having positioned yourself near this wagon, you go to the other side. While the rest of you watch this head priest step up on the other side of the wagon, reach up and shoot this river of light, this river of energy at Noah, and watch Lucian put up the shield. They have their conversation before the teleport happens. On the other side of the wagon, Valerian, you see a man you've never seen before. Impaled on one of these spikes is a man with who's like in maybe a little past middle age, thick red beard, wide brimmed hat. You see that in his like kind of death throes, the bandana covering his face has slipped a little bit. So you see that beard and that rugged expression, the like leather vest. His hat has sort of fallen off. Just before Lucian teleports Noah away, you see one of the priests moves around to that side of the wagon, goes up to this spike. You see a shimmering of energy, and you see the man impaled on the spike duplicated. He steps out. You see him largely unscathed, except you see that the spike has actually, you see like a wound, like a flesh wound, kind of through the side of his stomach in a way that looks like it would have been fatal, but wasn't. And it's very strategic. And the priest steps up to him and begins to heal the wound, and the illusion of him dead on the spike dissipates. And you see he patches up, he nods. This man goes, "It took you long enough."
Oh my God.
And the priest says, "Do not speak until this is over, fool." Fine. As long as I'm well paid for my service. And the memory ends. As he is teleported, as Noah is teleported away, and was not present for the rest of it.
Wait, what species was he? Could I tell? Or did he have pointy ears or no?
No, he appeared to be human. By your estimation, by his accent and his look, probably Cressidan. If at any point during that, you would have called anyone's attention to this, so that anyone else could have seen it, on that crit, you are welcome to do so.
Yeah, I would have been like,
And Noah,
the guy.
so Noah, would you divert your attention to watch this?
Yeah, I saw everything else, so
Without question, it is indeed Alias Karth,
That
the man
bitch.
who hired you for the job and
That
the leader
bitch.
of this
That
bandit party.
bitch. Is Karth with a C?
Okay.
Okay.
I wrote it down with a C. He doesn't get the correction. You know, when I told Faris to her face that she needed more security for her operations, this is what I was talking about.
You see the memory is beginning to sort of catch fire and curl around the edges once again.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh scheisse.
To the hole made just for us.
You run to the door that has now been fixed and permanent based on your actions.
What?
Yeah. Doing that, you guys would have had to find a way out. You would have had to will yourselves out.
Oh, I thought you meant like permanent, like go for forever. You just meant permanent for
No,
us to leave.
now you don't have to try to get
Yes.
yourselves out.
Yes.
You are well aware
Yes.
that connecting to Savar in some way has allowed him to leave this door open for you to leave.
Yay!
You rush toward that person-shaped door, and you see that Akash Lucana is no longer in the room. Instead, you see a single panicked soldier, not the captain, just a single panicked soldier in the room, sort of watching and waiting, looking back at the door, waiting. You burst through, all three of you, and this soldier goes, this probably, younger dwarven soldier goes, right, Akash saw it all,
Okay.
but we had to rush her to safety. I'm
Okay.
here waiting for you, but we need
Okay.
to go. We need to get to the safe room.
What do I?
Something just burst up out of the sea beneath the cliffside.
Oh, scheisse.
What's something?
It's flying up, scaling the walls, and moving toward the castle at breakneck speed.
Is there a window?
Not in here, not in this basement.
Okay.
Yes.
I follow him until I see a window.
And so he's running out, and he's trying to take you to some kind of safe room or something.
No.
You're not entirely sure where he's going. You try to go. He turns around and he's like, no, don't.
I try to retrace my steps to find the closest window.
You retrace your steps. Nothing is. So you see chaos.
Yeah.
You see soldiers are mobilizing at every turn on this bridge. People are rushing past you, trying to put the cannons on the bridge. And you go back to that bridge where you started.
Yeah.
And you look out, and you look across to what you understand to be the northern coast, the cliffs, in that direction, up where beyond would be like the Severed Isle, like the sea to the north, right? You look in that direction, and you see, cresting up over the cliff face, an enormous winged figure made entirely of metal, segmented in pieces with a familiar, sort of vibrating bluish glow, similar to what seemed to be propelling the ship. But this is no ship. You're not even sure if it's a construct, because the shape of it, terrible wings, a snout, and burning blue eyes. Though there is only, to your knowledge, one living one in the world, the shape of this does seem to betray a single terrible word: dragon. That is where we will pick up next time.
Oh my god.
Oh,
We're
boy.
screwed.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I knew I should have fucking taken wall walk when I could have. For you
Yeah,
guys.
throw a dragon at the level 1 party. That's fine.
We're screwed. No, the revolution is screwed.
Telltale's
I'm out
gonna
of
be
here.
so mad.
I will reiterate that it seems to be made of metal, and it is emanating that arcane, lifting flying thing glow.
Telltale's gonna
So
be
it's a little murky. We'll find out next time what this. Well, maybe we'll find out next time what this thing is, but you'll certainly have to deal with it.
She's gonna be so mad. She's gonna be like, "Why are you taking my visage in vain?" Oh god.
I'll tell you, it's gonna kill everyone.
Jesus Christ.
That was a fun one, guys. I love doing
Yes.
weird magic.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that someone would be able to sort of stumble into connecting to Savar, because the idea that his spirit was in there somewhere, that was always a possibility.
Aww.
Seeing him. So that was awesome. I could not imagine that going better.
Grandpa's trapped in the mirror forever.
Forever.
I know, it's sad, right?
Magic
It's so sad.
Grandpa.
He did do it to himself, though.
Yeah, but
He was having tea with his father.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Well, gang, thank you for another great one. Thank you for watching. I hope you will tune in next time to see whatever this encounter is to be. Until then, hey, keep it clockwork. Fare thee well.
Bye. Here
Robot mommy.
she